Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. On Monday this week, that is yesterday, we hosted on this program His Excellency Akeredolu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and Governor of Ondo State in southwest Nigeria. When asked to rate his chances of being re-elected after the October 10 election in Ondo State, the governor sounded as bullish as anyone and accused the main opposition People's Democratic Party in Ondo State of being an amalgam of unserious politicians, seeking power for selfish purposes and never bothering about catering to the crying socio-political and economic interests of the people of Ondo State. Just how true is this? Has the governor done well enough to deserve a second term? And what could the People's Democratic Party bring to the table to justify its search for control in Ondo State? Well, joining us now from Akure, the capital of Ondo State, to take us through all of this is Dr. Benson Enikuomehin, Chairman, Media and Publicity Committee, People's Democratic Party, Ondo State. A lawyer, Dr. Enikuomehin was at the time Special Assistant to late Governor Olusegun Agago on policy, planning, implementation, and special duties. Among other critical positions, political and professional, he's also a former representative of Ondo State on the governing board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Dr. Enikuomehin, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the morning show. Hello?
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good morning.
It's nice seeing you and the other gentleman and lady.
Thank you very much. Yes, well, quickly. We had Akeredolu on this program yesterday, and he was so confident that he's going to be returned as governor on October 10. He was very confident. He had a lot of good things to say about the candidate of the PDP, Jagede SAN, but he said, well, while he thinks he's a good man and a good candidate and a capable person, that this is not yet his time, that he should wait till the North completes his 8 years, and then when it goes back to another part of the state where Jagede comes from, then he will be a good candidate to be governor. Then, of course, you recall that not too long ago, a few days ago, the national leader of the APC was in Akure for the flag off of the APC campaigns. And he made a famous statement that PDP is dead in Ondo State, and that what remains is for the APC to nail the coffin of the People's Democratic Party. I'm referring, of course, to the comment made by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So is your party dead politically in Ondo State? And what chances do you think your gubernatorial candidate has?
It is cheap to talk, and that is the cheapest commodity that is available for any man on planet Earth. But whether that can come to fruition would depend on a number of factors. To say that PDP is dead in Ondo State will mean that we should go through events that transpired sometimes last year, precisely at the general election. At the general election where we had the governor of Ondo State, Arakuni, on seat, the PDP defeated APC in the presidential election with over 50,000 votes in all. Where were they? If the party was dead, how did we defeat them? Out of the 3 senators representing Ondo State presently at the National Assembly, the PDP has 2. APC managed to have 1. If that party was dead, where were they when we were winning? Of the members of the House of Representatives, we have 3. Where were they when these were happening? The truth of the matter is this. APC got opportunity to rule this country on the platform of propaganda. And that is still what they are embarking upon. In Osun State, At the last gubernatorial election, though the Supreme Court has laid that to rest now, that the APC won, but the people knew quite well that it was fraud, that the PDP won. In Ondo State, we are in the saddle, and so in this state, PDP is firmly on ground. I have just given you the background of the elections we had. I'm not talking about the manipulated ones that was done at the House of Assembly, where the governor rolled out the whole money that was available in the Treasury. The question we ask Mr. Governor is simple. What have you done that will warrant you being returned for the second term? And I say this without equivocation, that the governor has performed below average. One, in the area of education, what special instrument did he put in place which will warrant the people to vote for him? This state prides itself as a state where we churn out people who are learned, professors, doctors, name them. As of today, this government of APC is crumbling the educational system in the state. Prior to the time that APC came on board, our students were paying between 25 to 30,000 naira for their school fees. And now, without any provision whatsoever to cushion the effect, this government unilaterally, and I must say, wickedly though, increased the amount payable to over 180,000, sometimes 230,000. I tell you, Dr. Abati, one sad story, and this is true. Students from Akungba University are withdrawing from that school en masse to go and write JAMB for the purpose of getting admission into private colleges of education. That's how sad it is. So what legacy is he talking about? This is what was left for us by the sage, our own chief Ajasin, who invariably came from the same location, the same Owo where he's from. Did he learn this from Ajasin? Did he learn this from Awolowo? Education is the pride of the people in the Southwest. When you decide to send the children away from school, you are talking about legacy for which you should be returned. Let's look at the health sector. The Abiye, the mother and child hospital, that our women could go before now and have delivery free. What has happened to it? To go now to that hospital and have delivery, it will cost you between 60, 70, if it is 1,000 naira. If it is cesarean operation, you have to go to maybe 120, 130. Is that what is living for us? The PDP government that left by Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, though he was Labour Party before he joined the PDP, brought on board this school shuttle for children, in which children can, from one location to the other, be taken to schools free. I'm told that this government came on board, and because they do not like the welfare of the people, it's an oppressive government that has been cancelled. Where the bosses are now, only God can tell. Is that what will make the people to vote for them? I see, and I said this here on national television, international television, without any doubt. This government lies, and I say this cautiously, with impunity. Look at the bypass, the Okitipupa bypass. If you go through the street of Akure, you will see the flyers, you will see the billboard, the Okitipupa bypass has been completed. That is a ruse. I was home day before yesterday. When you go through Odeaye from Odiaye to Okitipupa, the place where the thing was flagged off, sometimes in February 2018, is in bush, a thick forest. When you go through Igodon after the university gate, branch right, anyone can go there. I will provide the resources for any station. If your station decides to go, I don't need the government. Let us go and see whether that road has been done. And yet this government comes to tell us, we have done this. They did about 300 meters within the middle of the road. That is between the road that goes to, there's this community there from Okitipupa to Erinje, from Erinje to the one that busts into the road that goes to Akin Fosile. They did about 300 meters and then begins to shoot it and show to the whole world. What a fraud. So to now come and say the government has something to tell us, go to Akoko land. I was there in Ogbagi. I was there in most of these communities in the north. The roads are not done. The duty that he did in Owo, that is his hometown, is understandable. It's a government for the governor, by the governor, with the governor, and for the people of the governor. That's okay, it's understandable. So he can do that. Then he does the one about 3 kilometers in Akure here. Go to the hinterland of Akure. I reside in Akure, and I know what the people are saying. Except this government comes with force. And I'm told that a neighboring governor is the advisor of our own Arakunrin, who used force of arms, mutilated people, killed them, except he's willing to come and kill the people of Ondo State. I tell you, Arakunrin and his team will not have up to 25% of the total votes in this state.
All right,
there is nothing to write home with.
Dr. Enikuomehin.
And so when they come here and they brag, yes?
Enikuomehin, let's hope and pray that it doesn't get to that point where, we have to kill people just because we're conducting elections. But on the issue of the statement...
That is the sad thing we hear. In Ondo State, we want peace.
Okay, that's what we all
peace.
want.
Let it be free and fair.
Yes, and that's the demand of everybody. But let's also interrogate, the statement made by the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, which says your party is dead in the state. Isn't it true that the dynamics in local politics and national politics could be different? Yes, your party won the last presidential election in the state and senatorial seats, 2 out of the 3, but could that not be could it not be as a factor, as a result of the popularity of the candidates in that election at the presidential level and some other factors? Isn't it possible that that's what's played out? Because, I ask, because Eitayo Jegede was a rival to Governor Akerdolu in 2016, and the incumbent governor won with a wide margin, almost 100,000 votes. Also, when you look at what's happening in your party at the state at the moment, it would seem as if the cracks from the past are still there. Barely days to your rescheduled campaign flag off, you're having defections, including the rival candidate that emerged in 2016, Jimo Ibrahim, some aspirants in your primaries for these elections as well, also threatening to take away thousands of followers of the party with them. Doctor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I don't know if you heard my analogy of all these factors that could play out to the national leader of the APC saying, your party might not have a chance and is dead. The individuality of the presidential elections, the senatorial elections, as against the individuality of the local elections when it comes to the governorship elections in the state, because this is a rematch of what happened in 2016, as well as the cracks in your party. We have Jimoh Ibrahim, who has defected just barely days to your flag-off campaign in the state. We have aspirants who have also left, who have defected, and they are threatening to leave with thousands of followers of the party. So what do you have to say to all of this happening?
Well, let me commence from the statement made by Asiwaju. I am not so much sure that Asiwaju is one of the persons who's coming to vote in Ondo State. I don't know the word or the unity belongs to in Ondo State. If he votes in Lagos State, then he can talk about what transpires in Lagos State. That statement can just be political. A man was invited to come and commission the tax office. Do you expect him to speak against the man who had invited him for that particular purpose? He should say something that should make the man happy. And so when he said that, and that made Arakuni happy, at least he can go home momentarily and bask in the euphoria of the statement made by Asiwaju. Now, on the issue of what transpired in 2019, let me tell you how the people of Ondo State behave. They are people who are well-determined, and they take their decisions when they are tired with the government. In 2015, you will recall that this state voted for General Buhari. Then, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was president. Dr. Olusegun Mimiko was the governor of the state, and he was the coordinator of Goodluck campaign Jonathan in Southwest. Notwithstanding the paraphernalia of office and all that transpired, the people of Ondo State rejected that government and voted for General Muhammadu Buhari. Check your record. In 2019, when the people of Ondo State were fed up with the administration of APC, both at the national and at the local, they came again and voted and rejected APC. We have that history. Ondo State is not a state where you manipulate and say, take money, go and cook rice and eat. No, those days are gone. We are taking our destiny into our hands. With respect to Ibrahim Jimoh that moved to APC, it is his choice. He has that right to do so, and he has so exercised it. But the question is this: aside from the vehicles that he gave to Arakuni for the purpose of campaigning, how many people went with him? Let me tell you the record. In 2003, Mr. Ibrahim Jimoh contested on the platform of APP against late Adefarati, late Dr. Agagu in this state, and he came far distant third. Therefore, he is not the determinant of PDP in this state. And for your information, Mr. Ibrahim Jimoh is not a foundation member of PDP. No. He joined PDP when Dr. Agagu had come into office in 2003. And so he cannot tell us the story of how PDP is. We know who are our members. The Holy Scripture says, I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. So we know those who are ours. We know those who are businessmen. Of course, he needs the assistance of the governor for the purpose of getting his university to go on. So if he moves to his party, that won't be a big deal. But the truth of the matter is this: the people are the one to decide. Say that APC will go ahead and hire talks. And this is what we are saying. As at now in Akure, you cannot see the posters of other contestants being allowed to be pasted. Once it is pasted overnight, it is torn by the tops of APC. It is only the posters of Arakuni that you see that adorns the street. Is it because others don't have money to paste posters? That is not so. It is not true. They do. But the APC hires hoodlums to carry out operation. I say this with evidence at my disposal. Only yesterday, thugs of APC went to the hallowed chamber of the House of Assembly and drove everybody away. They are used to it. It is their stock in trade. But if it is one vote, one man, one vote, one woman, one vote, one guy, one vote, one lady, one vote, APC cannot make it. What did they do? I am from Ilaje, the oil-producing area of this state. 13% derivation comes to this state as a result of that particular local government. I tell you that sometimes in February 2018, the governor went to Araromi and flagged off a road project that he said was going to link Araromi and Akeredolu in Lagos. Sadly enough, what we only see is the flag off. Up till now, up to this very moment, nothing is done. Osobadak is there in a state of comatose. But when people come to deceive, the people who are on ground here, they know the truth. And the people of Ondo State, we know the truth, and the truth will set us free. Eyitayo Jegede is a gentleman par excellence. He does not talk anyhow. He doesn't abuse traditional rulers. He doesn't call people names. And there are people who just burst out in anger. Eyitayo is not such a person. He's a refined gentleman, a former attorney general in this state, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Look at his mien. You will but be carried away by his mien. Forget the issue of some persons who have left the party. Yes, it is true. As some are leaving, some are coming in. Only on Sunday, I went to Akeredolu community in Ilaje local government. That is Ilaje constituency 1. Akeredolu community is in Ugbo Ward 5. I was there to go and receive a mammoth crowd that decamped from other parties into the PDP. As others are going, others are coming in.
Okay, if you can hear me, sir.
It will surprise you.
Dr. Enikuomehin.
If this vote will go one by one, the PDP is a party to beat.
Right, Dr. Enikuomehin. Dr. Enikuomehin, thank you for the point made.
Yes, sir.
I just have two questions. Probably two questions here. Number one will be the role of Agbola Ajayi in all of this. A lot of people thought when he lost the primaries to Eyitayo Jegede, a lot of people thought he was going to be made Eyitayo Jegede's deputy. And when that didn't happen, then he went to the ZLP. Do you think that will fracture your vote? Do you think that will cause disgruntlement in your party? And secondly, I put this question to Arakore yesterday. You talked about the fact that Arakore said Eyitayo Jegede did well in the elections. And somebody, Abegunde, granted an interview on Crest, 87.7, and talked about the fact that Eyitayo won the election, but they manipulated to favor them. And Arakore said, no, his victory was from God and things like that. I mean, when you heard that allegation as the PDP, why didn't you investigate or take it up? I just want to know what you think on those two areas.
Well, let me come from the last question. You don't flog a dead horse. The election was held in 2016. Arakore is about winding up his tenure in the state. And for us to now go and be investigating the story of what Honorable Abegunde Abena said, of what purpose will it be to us, it will be of no moment. And therefore, he, being a player in the system, he knew the manipulation they did. And he came up openly to confess. And you will recall that the governor asked the police to get him arrested and prosecute him for giving that information. Now, because they are all birds of the same feather, that same Abena is back to the same fold with him. He is no longer asking police to prosecute him because he knows that what the man said was the truth. And therefore, we did not need to bother ourselves about going to investigate. What we need to do is to tell the people, and that is what we are doing now, that here is a government of deception. I've given you instances. I've given you names of communities. I've given you projects that this government said it has completed, which are never so. And I am ready to lead any team to these project sites that I have mentioned, and nothing is happening. The people know it. You can deceive a people for a long time. You can't deceive them forever. The propaganda on television, on OSRC, on all these television stations will not avail Arakunrin what he's doing in this state. Will he avail him the 4.3 billion naira that is alleged of? Will he save him from that? Of course not. The people know. They are aware. We are waiting. Already our campaign is on now. The governorship candidate of PDP is on his way to Akoko Northeast to campaign today, and the campaign has started. Let me tell you, if a bicycle begins to move from this morning and is to go to Kanu, all you need to do is to take your aircraft. If you take off by 10 o'clock, by the time you will arrive Kanu, that bicycle may not have gotten to Kogi. They are own bicycle stories. And so it won't take them long, because no matter how long lies are told, the day the truth comes up, it will catch up with the lies and dismantle the structure of the lies. I go to the other one which you asked about Agbola Ajayi. I don't intend to castigate the gentleman on air because he's not here. It was Aketi that chose Agbola Ajayi as his deputy. As a senior advocate of Nigeria, did he not investigate Agbola Ajayi to find out who he was? I heard him yesterday when he said Agbola Ajayi is not qualified. He's not qualified. You chose him as your deputy. Don't you know that a deputy governor is a governor in waiting? Assuming something evil happened to his enemy, God forbid, nothing will happen to you, Arakunrin. I pray for you to finish your tenure so that you can go back home safely. If need be, go back to Ibadan and continue your practice, at least at the end of October or January, as the case may be. However, if something had happened to his enemy, would the deputy governor not have been the one who would have succeeded him? Come on, don't deceive people. Come and apologize that you brought such a person on us. A person who said he's a lawyer and is not bold enough to assert he being a lawyer. A person says he was called to bar, and when he will fill form at INET, he will fill school cert. Did you not know that? So you shouldn't come and castigate the man. You brought him in, and you should bear the brunt of him coming in. Wow. However, in respect of our party, yes, some persons definitely will go with him. Even when Satan fell from heaven, some angels followed him. But the question is, was he able to dethrone God? The book of Isaiah tells us that it was not possible. The angels that were with God were more than the ones that were with Satan. So in this regard, our members remain. Our members are with us. We know them. We talk to them. I contested for the office of the deputy state chairman. I didn't win. I did not go out. I supported one of the viral candidates. Did not win. We didn't run out. We are within the structure. Those who are with us, I know my sheep. This was a person who parted from APC, jumped into PDP, and then moved out to APC. He was a bird of passage within our structure. And we have since cleansed the house, and we are talking to the people. Our members remain, the populace remain, they are with us, they know us, they trust us, they believe us, and they believe me. When I speak in this state, people say, Enikuomehin will say the truth, and this is the truth. Eyita Ojegede is the candidate, and I think Aketi is jittery. I must thank Aketi for the good things he said about Eyidayo Jegede, he couldn't have done otherwise. To do otherwise will make him not a honorable person. He has said the truth, and that was the truth. Having said the truth, the people of Ondo State, therefore, should hold on to that truth. To tell Eyidayo Jegede, wait till year 2040 or till year 2055. Is he the one that determines the affairs of man? It is God that enthrones and not him. It is God using the people of Ondo State. The people of Ondo State believe the PDP. The people of Ondo State believe the candidate of the party. Eyidayo Jegede, a man of honesty, a man of decency, a man of noble birth, a man who is responsible, who we can trust, a former Attorney General, who through him, and by his government, he was able to produce the laws of Ondo State, codify them into 4 volumes. Akeredolu was in this state when the laws were made. He didn't do anything about it. It was 2016 that Eyidayo made sure that the laws of Ondo State were codified. Wow. When you are given a little and you do well in that little, much will be committed into your hand. Wow. And the people of Ondo State are willing and are ready and prepared to commit much into the hand of Eyidayo Jegede. I believe you, Dr. Abati, if you are here on the 10th of October and any of you come around, you will see jubilation in this state. I tell you the truth and I lie not. Wow. PDP is the party to beat. Forget the power of APC at the national. The power is powerless. When the teeth of a dog has been removed and the claws have been removed, what will he do? Nothing. APC is only boasting. Those who say PDP are dead, they will see that the lion that is sleeping is a terrible lion when you wake him up. Well, PDP is a giant.
On that note, Dr. Enikuomehin, we want to thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we all look forward to October 10 in Ondo State, and we hope that all the political leaders and stakeholders will allow peace to reign.